On episode 136 of He Said, She Said Movie Reviews, we take a look at the movie The Way Back. Welcome to He Said, She Said Movie Reviews. This is the podcast where a happily married couple with similar but different movie tastes take a quick, spoiler-free look at the movies, helping you make the right decision before your next movie. I'm your host, Tim.
And I'm April.
Well, we just got back from Orlando, Florida, where we attended Podfest, and while we were down there, we went to Disney Springs and saw The Way Back on opening night. I give this movie 3.5 stars, and you, April?
I'm going to also give it 3.5 stars.
We'll tell you all about it right after this one trailer.
All right. The trailer we were lucky enough to be able to see was one we've been waiting on, Wonder Woman 1984, a sequel to the 2017 superhero film Wonder Woman. Release date June 5th, 2020. It has Gadot, Chris Pine, and Pedro Pascal.
So, will this actually be a June 5th, 2020 release? We don't know anymore, right? I mean, this one could be delayed just about like every other movie.
Let's hope for the best and be really positive.
Yeah, I got my fingers and toes crossed.
All right, let's go on.
So, The Way Back. This is the story about Jack Cunningham was a high school basketball phenom who walked away from the game, forfeiting his future years later. When he reluctantly accepts a coaching job at his alma mater, he may get one last shot at redemption.
The director was Gavin O'Connor. He's known for The Accountant, Jane Got a Gun, Pride and Glory, Warrior, and Miracle. The writers were Brad Ingelsby, known for Run All Night, American Woman, and Out of the Furnace. And also, let's not forget, Gavin O'Connor here is a writer as well.
Gavin O'Connor's written a lot and directed a lot of sports movies. Miracle, of course, about the 1984 Olympic team, hockey team and such. So, and Pride and Glory and Warrior were all athletic movies. So, great there. Good cast here. We got Ben Affleck, Madrigal, Janie. I'm going to butcher a lot of these names. Janina, Gavankar, Michaela, Watkins, Brandon Wilson, Will Ropp, Fernando Vega, Charles Lott Jr., Melvin Gregg, Ben Irving, Jeremy Radin, and John Aylward. Of course, he's from ER, one of our favorites, Dr. Anspaugh.
Pretty good there. Runtime 108 minutes, rated R for language throughout, including some sexual references, which weren't really the concern. The movie, we wanted to let everyone know the language was just, nonstop. That's exactly why it was rated R.
Yeah, interesting rating. You don't often see a sports movie with an R rating, but...
All I can think about is, had they toned that down to PG, how much more kids would probably be able to see it.
But it really made the character too, don't you think?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so what do you think, April, about this movie?
Here's what I think about this movie. I think that a couple things. One, often with one tragedy in someone's life, there's a domino effect, number one. Number two, I think that this theme of this movie was, and the tone was right on, is sometimes you do have to fall before you get back up. So this movie was, don't get me wrong, it had a good, solid ending. What's interesting about this sports movie is this wasn't one of these happy, midway and end. This is a real movie about someone's real struggle.
Yeah, I want to comment on something you just said there. Most sports movies have a formula that they follow. It's pretty predictable. This one doesn't follow that typical sports movie formula. It has the typical. It has some of the tropes that you find in most sports movies, but it doesn't follow that formula.
Right. I think that Tim and I waited a long time to see this movie, so we were very excited. We wanted to be there right away when it opened. Obviously, Ben, he is a phenomenal actor. I just want to start out by saying he did a very, very good job. So did all the cast. I want to back up to casting. I think that even the kids on the team were cast right. The relationship between Ben, his sister, with the movie, all the way around, I thought the acting was really good. That's why I rated this movie higher. I also think it had a grittiness, a realness to it, and I think that's important.
Yeah, this movie also covers the subject, and this could be one of the reasons for the rating too, is that it does cover alcoholism. I mean,
yeah,
and it does a deep dive into alcoholism.
Yeah, and it's tough, folks. Tough to watch, and you know, when you find yourself rooting for someone with this disease, it just I thought that was done in a very good way as well.
I thought the direction was good in this movie. The score, don't really remember much about the score,
and that's something I wish that I'm thinking at certain scenes that's an area that I think could have been improved on. But the cinematography I thought was great. A lot of the sports shot inside the stadium, not too dark.
Yeah, I thought the production design was good. I thought the basketball looked real from what we saw of the basketball. There wasn't actually a lot of basketball in the game.
There wasn't, but at least the few scenes, they were very believable.
Right.
I think that more than that, though, with the production design, just how they moved the movie around a few times, I enjoyed the family scenes. You know, there was a lot of that I thought they did a really good job on.
I think this movie was more about alcoholism and family tragedy than it was a sports movie. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I would.
I think the sports movie was the setting for the covering alcoholism and family tragedy.
Right. And I thought I thought everything moved along very well. I thought the dialogue actually was real. I thought they did a good job. I have to admit the language was, I mean, that's, you know, none of us are perfect.
I thought that was kind of, to me, the language added to the movie a kind of a comical thing to it because it was a Catholic school. The priest was sitting there all the time and Jack, the character Jack, was constantly swearing during the basketball games. So I thought that added a little bit of comedy to the movie.
Well, and I also want to comment for just a minute. I know I talk about this a lot, but you know, it's amazing, kids in life and when they meet someone with the right, whether it's a chemistry, whether it's just a healthy amount of respect, just when a kid meets the right person or gets the right kind of mentoring, love, whatever they need to really be the best they can be. I love watching that magic, and you got to see some of that in this movie. And again, the cast, like Brandon Wilson, I just thought it was great. It wasn't too much. It wasn't too little. It was inspirational, and I appreciated that. So I enjoyed the movie. I thought the acting was great. I thought the casting was superb. And again, the more I've had a chance to reflect back, because of course we were traveling, it was just right.
No, I hear you. This is a movie that leaves you thinking about things for a while afterwards. Yeah. It's not one that you leave the theater and it's out of your mind. No, you'll definitely think about this movie. There
is another theme in the movie, but Tim and I decided not to discuss it because we try not to spoil anything in a movie. But there is a bigger theme, and it's difficult, but it's the movie takes it on. So anyway,
where did we see this movie, April?
Okay, this one of my favorites at Disney Springs, the movie theater there. Tim and I have been blessed to see a lot of movies over the years. I want to do a couple of shout outs real quick. It was a great trip. We enjoyed Podfest. It's a great convention. I want to do a shout out. Tim, what about the Orlando Marriott?
We stayed there at the Orlando World Center Marriott, which is a great hotel for Podfest. Thank you guys for hosting Podfest. It was a great time.
And also the service, the waterfalls, pools, and breezes, and those Korean tacos by the pool. Pretty good. So I want to say that. But I want to say something about Disney Springs. First of all, they've done a lot of additions that we hadn't seen since the last time we were there that are magnificent. They did a great job. I also want to do a shout out real quick. Art Smith, who was Oprah Winfrey's cook for many years, has opened a restaurant there called the homecoming, and his fried chicken was great. We loved our ice cream sundae.
We walked from one end to the other of Disney Springs to get a chocolate sundae at Ghirardelli ice cream.
Yeah, that's one of our favorites from San Francisco. Of course, we have one here locally. We have to drive to it, but still delightful overall. When we were there, of course, it was still very, very busy. So, obviously today our prayers go out to everyone with the coronavirus and the businesses that are affected, the people that are ill. We just hope for the best and pray for strength and hope it all gets better soon.
Hey, during this time of the coronavirus, we wish you all the best and keep yourself safe and keep your family safe. Right now, a lot of movies are going to be delayed coming out in the theaters. We will be switching over to giving you reviews about content on the streaming services. We have them all. So look forward to hearing about stuff we've seen on streaming.
And we appreciate y'all have been after us for a long time to do this. So we do it anyway. Tim and I are very fluent on all those releases anyway, so that's easy for us to do. But for all of you that have been specifically pushing us and sending us messages, I think it'll be fun for you as well. So we wish everybody strength and good health and just that our country stays really strong together.
Thanks a lot, and we'll see you at the movies.
See you at the movies.